did start running kind of rough at the end of errands on Saturday. Didn't drive it Sunday. Drove to work on Monday, which is today. And it drove pretty poorly. I'm thinking. Oh, and it had been for several shutoffs been dieseling, I guess is what it's known as, which is when you shut it off the key and it turns over a couple more times and fires with just the fuel that's left in there and residual heat. So I was looking into that a little bit, and one thing can be carbon buildup, and the carbon holds extra heat in the combustion chamber, which can make it go off, and a couple things like that. So I've been suspecting that I've been carboned up. So I put some fuel treatment in this morning. It drove pretty crappy on the way to work this morning. It started rough this morning and started rough at work. But it cleared up a little bit on my drive home, so it feels less bad than when I started today. So that's something. So maybe that fuel treatment's working its way in, some BG stuff. But I'm also gonna want to try. Well, I'm gonna check timing, and I want to check. What else do I want to check? I want to check timing, and I want to try cleaning the combustion chambers a little more aggressively with the old dump water in there trick. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited to see how that works. My neighbor actually mentioned that. I was like, that sounds crazy. And then I was looking into it, and people were like, yeah, that's pretty much the way to do it. Just steam clean the cylinder. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll see. Only 129 on grip strength. All right, so we are playing with the timing. It was super retarded, I think. It's supposed to be start at 10. The guys are saying start at 10 and then adjust from there, probably up. And I thought I put it at like 12, but it's at 7. So we're going to double it, and we're gonna triple our horsepower by doubling that.
That's how it works.
Easy. No. So the starter is stuck on. I guess you could have.
Well, if there's like a wire that's shorting or something, that could be
true.
I don't think he pulled anything out though.
Well, if you push something together though. Conveniently enough, this is now high enough that I can just stick my head under it. Kind of. Well, not on the creeper. Ow. Oh, right in the bucket. Alright, where's the wire for this thing? That. Is just one wire down to this starter? Oh. I mean, we could clip it back on and I could hit it with a hammer and see if it stops.
Well, how about
There's just one big wire going to that from the battery. Well, from the starter relay. Which is odd. Yeah. And there's this little guy and that little guy, which I think are the solenoid. So this thing is stuck. The solenoid here is stuck, connected.
So I unhook it there.
Because then these guys should.
The key is in right now, but the ignition's off, so
Okay.
it shouldn't be doing anything. This guy, he had the right exact wrench in his pocket.
It happens to be a 13, which is a half, which is really common conveniently.
Like, looking like a mechanic or something.
It's really easy to be a mechanic on the American cars. Everything's a half or a 3 or like a 9/16.
That depends on the American car.
No, it's good American cars. So then this, oh, what's that? This is just extra junk. That was the physical link thing. Oh, interesting. Where's that? What is that? Where's that going?
Your creeper is fully under the car now.
That's okay. Is the fusible link fused? I'm not really sure what fusible links are. I think they're like. Who's the one? What's that? What's the thing? Not relays, but not fuses. It's gross. It looks bad. That in there. Let's ground this with something. Yeah, see what it does now.
Wait, this isn't doing anything.
Well, I guess
This
yeah.
won't do anything.
Shouldn't do anything. Yeah. Okay.
I'd be horrified.
What
if it
about
did.
what about if this is back on there?
No, because you gotta touch this to it. This is the other side of the battery.
Oh, that's true.
That's completely disconnected.
That's
Okay.
okay. So this thing is fused, maybe, or this thing needs to be part of the circuit.
There's a spark.
There's a spark. What's this thing? There's this other thing on there too.
Here, let me just hold on to that since we're. Ouch! Sorry, that radiator's hot. Why don't you just pull it in here?
Well, I did drive it home like a half hour ago.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay, so both of these fusible links were in there, and I don't know where they go or what they do. Oh, there's this thing. And these both look like crap. And that definitely could have been shorting on that body there. That's all goes on there. What's this thing? How does that come apart? I like this. It's a metal root. Oh no, it's riveted on.
But you could unbolt it from the side at least.
I don't know if that'll tell me anything about that.
Maybe just open on the bottom.
Don't know what this thing does. May as well clean those contacts out. I should really just rewire that. I don't. This is bizarre.
It's a rat's nest.
And it's not even that many wires, but they're still confusing.
It's trying to sound like a car.
Alright, let me see if we can jump the solenoid. Because it clicks now that we've got those things back on.
Do we need the key ignition? We shouldn't.
We shouldn't. Woo. Woo. Okay, so I am going to start the car, and we want to rev it up to like pretty high idle, and then douse some water in the intake until it bogs down but doesn't die. And I think I'm gonna let you run the throttle, and I'm gonna drown my engine.
For the record, this sounds like a terrible idea.
Well, you know, neighbor Mark said to do it, and the internet agreed.
Hey, I'm all down if neighbor Mark said
The internet all
Let's
agreed with the
begin.
exact same premise, so we're gonna see how it happens. right, I got that shadows. That guy with the little screw coming out with the nut on the bottom. Get that thing tightened down to snug, and I'm gonna fire up the power steering and see how it feels, because this is actually pulling the whole way around. Okay, well, we got the timing better. Splashed some water in the intake, didn't really seem to do anything. I might need to do more a different time. I still have fuel cleaner in the fuel, or engine cleaner in the fuel. Let that continue doing its job. Does seem to be running better. Still did the diesel thing on our last shutdown, but I think it's probably drivable fine enough to work tomorrow, so we'll drive it a little more, get a little more miles on it, get that treatment going through there. Isn't that a good looking thing? And I tightened up the steering box, which I showed you all. I think. We'll see how that feels tomorrow. And I'm gonna go swap out fuel line on the Jeeper real quick. I got this blue line here, which is a 400 PSI hose, which should be more better than this one, which was, 40 or something. So this is the one I put in there before. It's getting, I don't know if you can really see, but it's getting microfractures in there already. Not ideal. So I'm just gonna take this off, put blue hose on these clamps already. Use reuse our clamps, call it a day. All right, under here, got this off of there. Blue guy coming down. For some reason I expected there to not be so much fuel in here. Oops. Snake that down. We're using zip ties so far, which is convenient. All right, we got that blue line going down, up through this zip tie, and that zip tie, and then go here. Snip, snip. Get the clamp back on. Bottom clamp's already on. All right, got that trimmed, got that there. I'm gonna blue Loctite this because this kept coming loose on the other one until I Loctited it. And underneath, looking pretty good there. Swooping up to that little guy, kind of into here. Should pull a little tighter maybe. I think that's pretty good.